I think this is the first drama movie that I've ever reviewed, so let's jump right in. McFarland, USA. So McFarland, USA takes place in 1987, and it is the true story of Coach Jim White, who is played here by Kevin Costner. He and his family move into this little tiny rundown town of McFarland, California, because he got a job there teaching at the local high school. And when I say rundown, this town is like a speck. The local people there, who are predominantly Latino, they don't think too highly of themselves. But Jim White's like, you know what, I see potential in these high school kids, so we're gonna form this cross-country team to train and compete. And so this is the story of Jim White bonding and training with these kids to be the best cross-country team they can be. And honestly speaking, I enjoyed this movie. It really focuses on Jim's relationship with these kids. Like, it makes sure that that is at the forefront of this movie. That's not a bad thing, of course. I liked watching him interact with these guys because at first they don't take him that seriously. Him being a white guy among a bunch of Latinos, he doesn't quite fit in. So there's some really good dialogue going and some excellent character development. And over time, as he's training them and teaching them all sorts of stuff, these kids not only learn how to trust Jim White, but they learn to love him as well. I think that was portrayed very well in this film, so I gotta give points to the acting. Not just Kevin Costner, but also the kids. Especially the guy who plays Thomas Velez. His name is Carlos Prats. Good job, dude. Maria Bello plays Jim's wife in this movie. We remember her from the show Touch. That show was awesome. And what I liked about her is that she understood what Jim was going through. Usually in movies like these, the wife will like start to pull away because she's like, oh, it's either me or this other thing you're doing. This movie didn't go that route. She was a true supporting character. The movie did feel kinda slow in a couple of parts. Right around 2/3 of the way through, I would say, I started going, can we pick up the pace a little bit, please? But it never got so slow that I got bored. It never lost me. The best scenes in the movie are when the kids are running. I don't know what it was, but there was something about those scenes that made me feel as if I were there with them. I almost got tired myself just watching them run. Part of it was probably the score. The score to this movie was really cool. Lots of Spanish guitar. I love that shit. It kind of reminded me of the Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides soundtrack. These running scenes were going on and you would hear this awesome Spanish guitar beat going on in the background. You're like, yeah, let's get this shit done. It was like workout music. So props to Antonio Pinto for writing the score. This movie does a really good job at playing up the emotions. You see the hardships that these kids have to go through just to make it through every day. Some of them have rotten families. Some of them have to go work in vegetable fields at 4:30 in the morning every day. They have tough lives. The whole town, like I said, is filled with people who don't think too much of themselves. So the fact that this cross-country team is breaking a sweat representing this town, and they're getting to be a pretty solid team, that's a pretty uplifting thing. Another thing I liked about this movie was how it was shot. During these running scenes, there would be these wide shots of these kids running across those beautiful California landscapes. It was pretty sweet. Also, for a movie about running, there was ironically no shaky cam. None at all, at least none that I remember. If there was, it was probably very brief. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. So McFarland USA had great acting, great characters, a great story, a pretty awesome score, great cinematography. Yup, this movie's pretty solid. So I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. It's also pretty cool that everything that happened in this movie actually happened in real life. As Gandalf once said, that is an encouraging thought. So what is your favorite movie that's based on a true story? Mine? Rudy. I love that movie. But whatever yours is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.